Hello, everybody. You know, one of the most exciting things to do in this world is to do something that you feel that is your purpose, something that you feel that it is aligned with what God's will is for you. And God created each and every one of us so differently, so uniquely. And nobody has the same fingerprints out there. Sometimes they say there is a twin out there that may look like us, but they may not have our same personalities, our background, our upbringing, our gifts and talents, and so many other things out there. But in this video, I hope that you may find what your true purpose is, what fulfills you, what rewards you, what energizes you, what gets you out of bed. How can you feel fulfilled knowing that you did something for God's good pleasure and that you brought all glory and honor to Him? You know, I'd like to share with you what it says in Philippians chapter 2, verse 13 in the Amplified Bible. And it says, "For it is not your strength, but it is God who is effectively at work in you, both to will and to work. That is strengthening, energizing, and creating in you the longing and the ability to fulfill your purpose for His good pleasure." So I encourage you, tap into how you feel that God has made and created you in you, how you're wired, and just let's explore more and give it a thought. Something that may just come naturally to you that like you don't even have to think about it. Oh, I know I'm gifted in this. I know I'm gifted in that. You know, I can naturally work, fast with my hands, or I can naturally just speak so eloquently or whatever it may be. Or I may just understand the math, and I get the numbers, whatever it may be. I just really encourage you to try to incorporate that and use it for God's glory today. I know with me, later in life, I've come to realize I'm able to make these YouTube videos for you that I hope that you enjoy, because I realize that I have the gift of faith. Naturally, it just comes to me so easily. And I realize that with other people, it may be a struggle. It may be difficult for them to build up some faith muscles and to have more faith in their lives. I also noticed that within me, I have the gift of encouragement. It comes so naturally for me that I am just so used to being with people. I'm a hairstylist. I've been working at the salon for 32 years, and I'm always in contact with people. And I've heard many different stories in my life from all the clients. And also in the ministry, my husband is in the ministry, and we've heard so many of people's stories, their struggles, their marriage problems, or their own problems, and so many sad stories, or there's some suicide, incidents in people's lives, and all these different things. But I noticed that of all the stories I've heard, with the gift of faith, I'm able to encourage others just naturally, all for God's glory. And I noticed that I like to share with you this little incident that happened to me recently. That I went to this Korean restaurant, and I was there with my parents, my family, and my sister who was visiting from out of state, and her husband. And here we are at this big long table at the Korean restaurant, just eating, and we're excited to see each other, and we're just chatting and talking, and it's a small restaurant. And then, there are people in the same room, and across the room, at a short distance, there was another long table with a lot of people, families I noticed there too. But, I didn't pay too much attention to that. I'm just really engaged in my conversation with my sister, my parents, and everybody, and eating the food deliciously. Well, after a while, there was a guy that was passing by who was sitting at that table, and I guess to go out to the restroom, you would have to pass by our table. And as he was coming back, suddenly, randomly, out of the blue, he comes to our table. He looks at my sister Gail and I, and he looks at us and he says, "Gail, Lisa? And we looked at him. He did not look familiar to us at all whatsoever. But we said, yes, I'm Lisa. This is Gail. And he was just awestruck. He couldn't believe that it was us. He said, do you remember me? And this was 37 years ago when I was age 15. He says, I'm from Nasanghanan Church in LA, and I remembered you from there. I was in junior high school, and you, Gail, and Lisa were in high school, and my friends and I looked up to you. And he said, as he was sitting across the table, he can hear my voice. I guess I have a unique voice. But back from 37 years ago, he remembered my voice. I was just so tickled. He says, you know, I heard you talking, because I guess my voice projects across the room. It's pretty loud sometimes, especially when I get excited. But he said there was a couple of words that I said that it just maybe triggered. He remembered hearing my voice from a couple of words, maybe just the way I said it. That's how he expressed it. And that's how he remembered us when he looked over. He looked over at us. I mean, I hope I look the same since when I was in high school, 37 years ago. And we were just laughing. And he said, oh, do you remember, you know, this person and this person? And he remembers my father. He bowed to my father back then. And we were just reminiscing and we're taking pictures. I mean, it was hilarious. But I guess I have a unique voice. And I wanted to share that story with you because also with you, you have something so unique within yourself that God has created in you. And I encourage you today, tap into your uniqueness. You have something so valuable and so good and worthwhile to share to others that God has gifted you with. With me again, He's gifted with me faith and encouragement with people. It comes so naturally. And He's gifted you with something so good that only can be useful for God's purpose. Again, it says in Philippians 2:13, for it is not your strength, but it is God who is effectively at work in you, both to will and to work. That is strengthening, energizing, and creating in you the longing and the ability to fulfill your purpose for His good pleasure. And I hope that you will tap into something that just comes naturally, that energizes you, something that just gives you that zeal, the zest in life, that is your passion. Let us tap more into that passion and use it all for God's purpose and for His glory, whatever it may be in. Maybe in your job related, you're able to use your gifts and talents and others around you just by your being. It is evident that Christ is at work within you. It may be your kindness. It may be you just reaching out to others in love. It just may be your existence in your family. Your love shines forth and others need to feel your warm embrace through God. Whatever your gift and talents are today, you are unique. And you have something special within you that only you can share to this world. If you're able to just help one person, it could mean so much to that person. It could change that person's life. And I just encourage you to exercise it and to make it more useful, to just come out of your shell and to spread God's light to others in this world. God bless you, and I hope that I may encourage you today. Just tap into your gift and just be energized and give all God praise and glory. For whatever gifts God's given to you is precious. It's a treasure. He can easily give something to you, a gift and talent, and that quickly He can take it away from you if we're not useful for His kingdom purpose. God bless you. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.